father-son blow-up. You won't believe what Paedon said to Kody. Janelle's reaction says it all. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the show. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and give this episode a thumbs up. Today, we delve into one of the most emotional and heartbreaking moments ever captured on Sister Wives, the family's response to the tragic passing of Paedon Brown. When news first broke of Paedon's untimely death in mid-2024, fans were devastated. Many wondered how Sister Wives would address such a profound loss, especially since filming had not resumed at the time of his passing. But as season 19 continued, the show returned with an emotionally raw and deeply personal exploration of the Brown family's grief. From the start, it was clear that the showrunners approached this delicate subject with care. While some viewers were hesitant, fearing that the tragedy might be used as entertainment, others hoped it could provide a space for healing and closure, not just for the Browns but for longtime fans who had watched Paedon grow up on screen. Fortunately, the series struck a respectful balance, allowing the family to share their stories only when they felt ready. Janelle Brown, Paedon's mother, displayed remarkable strength and vulnerability. Her willingness to share the details of the day she learned of her son's passing and her emotional reflections afterward were heartbreaking but also profoundly human. Rather than shielding the public from her pain, Janelle opened a window into her grief, showing just how deep her love for Paedon ran. It was a powerful reminder that a mother's pride in her child doesn't end with death. Kody Brown, her former partner, also stepped into emotionally unfamiliar territory. Known for his often divisive role in the family, Kody surprised viewers by letting down his guard. In intimate scenes with Robyn, his fourth wife, he voiced the heavy burden of guilt, sorrow, and confusion he carried. While Kody's relationships with his children have often been strained, especially with the older ones like Paedon, his honest reflection on what he could have done differently added a depth to the episode that longtime viewers may not have expected. The episode didn't shy away from hard conversations. Rather than glossing over the pain or offering surface-level tributes, it presented the raw and complicated reality of family grief. Tensions that had lingered under the surface for years began to emerge. The Browns weren't just mourning the loss of a son and brother, they were grappling with the fractured relationships that his death brought into sharper focus. One of the most talked-about moments came from Paedon's brother, Paedon Brown. Known for speaking his mind, Paedon stirred controversy with a Mother's Day post that appeared to exclude Robyn Brown. While wishing a happy day to almost every mother, he smirked and admitted he was a bit of a stirrer, leaving fans to speculate about lingering resentment. Though he didn't name Robyn directly, the implication was clear. Paedon, who has previously been vocal about his discomfort with Robyn's role in the family, seemed to use the moment to make a pointed remark, one that reminded fans of the still simmering tensions within the Brown clan. Despite the drama, what stood out most about the episode was its emotional honesty. The family didn't try to package their grief in neat, TV-friendly moments. Instead, they let the camera capture the pain, confusion, and love that remained after Paedon's passing. It was difficult to watch, but all the more powerful because of that. As a longtime viewer, I wasn't sure how I'd feel about the show covering such a private tragedy. Part of me hoped they would leave it out entirely, allowing the family to grieve off camera. But after seeing the episode, I'm grateful they chose to share. Not for the sake of ratings or drama, but because the loss of Paedon deserved to be acknowledged with dignity and truth. In the end, Sister Wives Season 19 offered more than just a tribute. It provided a raw and emotional portrait of a family in mourning. It reminded us that while reality television often treads the line between storytelling and spectacle, there are still moments when it can rise above and reflect the real, unfiltered human experience. Paedon Brown's legacy will live on in the hearts of his family, and in the memories of viewers who watched him grow, laugh, and speak his truth. A tribute of truth and a message that sparked speculation. Paedon Brown opens old wounds. The recent tribute episode from the Brown family was unlike any other. The tragedy that brought them together acted as a mirror, exposing long-standing fractures within the family and magnifying their collective grief. But it also offered a rare opportunity for healing, however fleeting. What unfolded was not a scripted moment of television, but a sincere exploration of sorrow, love, and reflection. The episode focused on honoring the life of a young family member whose absence was deeply felt. His energy, humor, and presence were unmistakably missing in every photo and memory shared. Yet, rather than letting the grief define the moment, the family turned to recollection. Through laughter, quiet stories, and old footage, they captured the essence of a life lived with purpose, even if it was cut short. Conversations flowed, honest and sometimes painful. Family members discussed not only their sadness but also their regrets, guilt, and love. These weren't the usual staged heart-to-hearts viewers have come to expect from reality TV. Instead, they were raw, filled with awkward silences and trembling voices. The tribute was powerful not just for what was said, but for what was left unspoken. One figure who stood out was the young man's mother. Her resilience was moving. Though her face bore the weight of unbearable loss, her words carried both sorrow and pride. She spoke of her son's dreams, his kindness, and his quiet strength, turning what could have been a somber farewell into a heartfelt celebration of his life. Her calm grace turned the episode into a luminous reminder of the boy's spirit, reminding viewers that grief and love often coexist. The episode felt different from typical reality fare. It was subdued, patient. The producers deserve credit for giving the family space to breathe. They allowed silence to speak, resisting the temptation to fill every pause with dramatic music or commentary. The result was a respectful and deeply moving portrait of grief that felt real. Even long-strained relationships among family members softened, if only momentarily. Grief has a way of cutting through bitterness and reminding people of what truly matters. This episode showed a rare glimpse of unity, of people genuinely listening to each other, perhaps for the first time in years. The young man's siblings, some of whom have chosen quieter lives, added tender memories and heartfelt messages. Their presence reminded viewers that mourning takes many forms and that silence can speak volumes. These moments were especially touching and showed that even a single episode cannot fully capture the weight of a life, but this tribute came as close as any could. The audience response was immediate and emotional. Viewers flooded social media with condolences, appreciation, and their own stories of loss. The episode fostered a shared space for communal grief and reflection. Many agreed that this moment, more than any dramatic revelation or relationship twist, would be remembered as a defining point in the show's history, a reminder that authenticity still has a place on reality television. Yet just as the family found a moment of peace, another wave of tension rose, this time sparked by a social media post from Paedon Brown, known for his candor and unique insight into the Brown family dynamic. On Mother's Day, Paedon posted a message that stirred speculation and revived unresolved drama. Raised in a polygamous household with multiple mothers, Paedon has never shied away from speaking his truth. His bond with his biological mother, Christine Brown, remains strong. However, his relationship with his father, Kody Brown, has been strained, especially after Kody's increasing focus on his fourth wife, Robyn Brown. Paedon took to social media to wish a happy Mother's Day to almost every mom out there, a statement many interpreted as a deliberate snub. While he didn't name Robyn, the omission was telling. Delivered with a cheeky smile and cryptic tone, Paedon claimed he meant no harm, but fans weren't convinced. His body language and phrasing hinted at deeper unresolved feelings. Despite trying to pass it off as a joke, Paedon's words revealed long-standing resentment. His issues with Robyn are not new. Her arrival into the family coincided with a dramatic shift in Kody's attention and priorities. Over the years, Paedon has voiced his belief that Kody's relationship with Robyn came at the expense of his relationships with his other children. Paedon's post wasn't just a harmless quip, it was a public signal that emotional wounds remain open. His exclusion of Robyn was more than symbolic. It reflected his continued struggle to come to terms with the changes she brought into the family. His reaction points to a desire for emotional stability and the preservation of traditional family ties that he believes were disrupted. Even though Paedon now lives independently in North Carolina, far from the family's central drama, the effects of his upbringing still shape his worldview. His loyalty to Christine and other family members who have distanced themselves from Kody and Robin speaks volumes. His relationship with Robin is unlikely to mend anytime soon, and his Mother's Day post confirmed that beneath his playful exterior lies a heart still grappling with pain. Paedon Brown's journey is far from over. His honesty, whether in tribute or in jest, continues to spark important conversations about loyalty, grief, and the complexity of modern family dynamics. As the Brown family evolves, so too does the story of its most outspoken son.